It's Urban Marketplace, and I feel delighted having you join us again for yet another interesting episode of this program right here on Urban Radio 94.5 FM. My name is Chiamaka Ezapata, and as usual, I've got Mr. Tony Odukwe right here in the studio. Hello, Mr. Tony.
Hello, Chiamaka. Good morning, listeners. Remember, it's the Urban Marketplace.
Yes.
Your first ever shop on radio.
And we did it first.
We did it first.
You also remember that always.
That's right.
Okay, so today we are going to be discussing something very relatable. You know, something that I believe everyone, one way or the other, has experienced it.
That's right.
It's
Everyone.
impossible for you to tell me that you've not experienced it.
Because it is at pandemic levels in Nigeria.
Honestly, it's just something that keep playing out there, and you know, I just keep wondering, is it a good thing? So today we are going to be looking at the positive and negative effect of bad customer service to business growth and development. You know, some businesses do not understand the importance of good and quality customer relationship.
That's right.
They just feel like I'm offering these services. Anyhow I offer it to you, it's your business. If you want to take it, you take it. If you don't want to take it, you leave it. So let's look at customer relationship. Like, let's start with Nigeria. Nigeria is a country.
It is terrible.
Where are you going to leave our customer relationship?
It is terrible. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 1.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
customer relationship.
Very
customer
bad.
relations,
It's
in
beyond
Nigeria.
poor.
It's very bad. Very, very bad. You know, but what people don't understand is that the way you treat your customers determines how successful your business becomes.
True.
Right? Now, if you've heard about organic growth, you know, you say, we've grown this business organically. We didn't do social media marketing. We didn't do digital marketing. We didn't do Google marketing or anything like that. We grew this business organically. It's usually through the word of mouth, you know, and it's piloted by excellent customer service, right?
Yeah.
You work. It's everything from the way you answer telephone calls at the office, the receptionist, to how you receive your guests at the office, to how you talk to customers over the counter. Right? It's everything about those, right? But there is a culture of arrogance with businesses in Nigeria. But I wouldn't say that altogether is just the fault of the owners of the business. It's majorly a problem with the employee of this different businesses. Banks are terrible. Hospitals, how do you call it? There's another this network companies, telephone companies.
Oh yeah.
You know, these
the
staff,
network providers.
Yeah. What happens is that a lot of these companies that pay their staff very well, this staff become very arrogant, right?
Okay.
They earn enough salary to dress well, wear good shoes, wear a good cologne, you know, use a good phone, drive a good car, and then they feel like they're on top of the world. And so you can
before
talk
they
to,
address anybody, they just access you first,
yeah,
rate you,
yeah.
know how they are going to talk to you.
Really, that's what happens. So if you come in dressed nicely, you know, looking like you're in the upper echelon of the society, you hear a lot of sa, right?
Everywhere.
But you walk in like an ordinary person. If you like, be Dangote. But if you walk in
sometimes
like
you
an
even
ordinary
have
person,
to greet like 2 or 3 times.
That's right.
Before you get attention.
Excellent, Chiamaka. You got it right. You got it right. You know, I walked into a bank, I think it was last week, and I told them, listen, this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to walk in here and say and greet you guys. Because every time I walk in and I say Dalono or greetings, nobody answers.
Yeah.
What are you guys feeling like? It's so terrible. Now, if you don't have a job, I told a number of them this, if you don't have a job, you cry. Oh Lord, when am I going to get this job? Lord, please give me a job. And you fast, you pray, you tell your pastor to pray. Oh, I graduated 10 years ago, I haven't gotten a job. But the minute you get it, God answers your prayer and gives you a good job. You become arrogant.
We've seen that play out. You know,
all
some people
the time.
have issues
It really
with
gets on my
managing
nerve.
opportunities.
Yes. Now, but you see, what they don't understand is that the customer is the reason you have that job. 2 ways. The customer is, you are employed to attend to a customer, but you are also employed to get the money from the customer so that your salary and every other person's salary will be paid. Now, you're forgetting that if you drive the customers away, they don't spend, in the establishment or in the establishment, and then there will be a lack of liquidity in that business. And what happens is that your salaries won't be paid. The business will probably shut down very soon. So you have to understand that in this case, customer is king. Like I said yesterday, the customer has his place,
yes.
and the business, the staff of a business have their place. Everybody has to respect each other equally, right?
Yes.
But then in this case, the customer is king, because you have to get the customer to be happy to come back. Return customers grow businesses.
Yes, it's very important.
Very
returning
important.
customers.
Return customers grow businesses,
and it also gives room for referrals.
Exactly.
People will feel very safe and
Chairman, it's
easy.
like you're my head. You're taking it out of my head.
No. This is something that I, for one, have complained of, from time to time, and it's sad that business owners are yet to realize that it's very important for them to treat their customer rightly.
Right, yeah.
So I went to this place to eat, and your waitress comes out. She just tap the table. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, madam.
What do you want? I was like, is that how? Wait, you have to tap on the table and then say hello. What do you want? With
crazy.
The tone, the harsh tone.
Yes, that's
how
very
do you even?
disrespectful.
Yeah, I know here you people make nice and delicious meals, but I can't come back with this kind of behavior.
That's another point. I was going to say this, but it's good you said it now, because it just reminded me. Now you find those businesses that do so well, that they have a good how do you call it, patronage. Every
Yes.
time you come to these businesses, people are lined up. The staff become unnecessarily arrogant.
Rude. Yes.
Now, have you also noticed that the network companies could have the nicest staff, but all of a sudden when government says you have to register NIN, and then there are hundreds of thousands of people lining up at the offices every day, they all of a sudden become arrogant and very disrespectful.
Okay,
and then they talk to everybody anyhow.
I do cut slacks for them because
Pressure.
it might be pressure.
No, you don't cut slack for such nonsense, because the point is, you are a customer. If you're in customer service, you have to wear a smile every time. It's part of the ethics of the job. No matter how bad a day you're having, you're supposed to wear a smile. Go cry in your room, go into the bathroom and cry. Go into the bathroom and scream and punch the wall. But the minute you walk into that hall where the customers are, you must put a smile on your face.
Yes.
So this is where I blame the businesses, because they really have to train their staff.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there are a number of things on my list here that I want to go through. Customer loyalty. Providing excellent service fosters customer loyalty. Right?
Okay.
When you give excellent service, it gives that business your customers are loyal to you. They'll tell their friends, they'll tell their family, let's go here, let's go buy clothes here, let's go eat here.
Yes.
They have excellent staff, right? They're loyal to you, they'll defend you. If people give bad reviews about your business on the internet,
come out
they'll
and start fighting.
defend you.
Yes,
They will defend you,
Yes,
right?
true.
And that's because you have excellent customer service. The other benefit is positive word of mouth. They have to cross, like I said, they tell family and friends. They
Yes.
tell their office people. They have if you own a restaurant and you serve your customers well, and then your boss says, okay, this is the end of the year, where we're going to have our end of the year party or dinner. You'll be like, okay, let's go to this restaurant.
Yeah.
They have good food,
And you
the
see
staff
yourself
are really
doing
good.
less promotion because people are already doing it for you.
Organically, you will grow that business, and you wouldn't even have to pay so much on publicity and all of that. So the other thing is differentiation. It stands you out.
Yes.
Right?
True.
Good customer service stands you out from other businesses that are similar to yours. Right? And that means more productivity, more profitability. The other thing is brand reputation. It gives you a good reputation, right? In the city, in the country, and sometimes it crosses borders, right?
Yes.
We're in Nigeria, but there are brands we hear about overseas, and we're thinking, okay, the day I go to London, I want to visit this brand. I want to go to this
so
shop.
I want to go to this
Because
particular
they've
place.
done excellently well. They've represented their brand well, right? Feedback for improvement. When your customer is happy, they'll give you good feedback, right? That would help you grow your business. They could
Yes.
tell you, okay, this color on the wall, I don't think it's so great. It's gloomy. And so when your customers walk in here, they want to see happy colors and all of that. And they'll give you positive feedback like that.
You know why I laughed when you mentioned
Why?
feedback?
Yeah.
I just remembered something that played out in Nigeria a few months ago. Someone gave a review about a particular company that produces tinned tomatoes.
Okay, I heard it. And
Yes.
they got arrested, right?
So it was a review, and the only thing you could do was to get her arrested For me,
That's
that was
crazy.
just intimidation.
I saw that and I
Yes,
said that,
and with that, people start canceling that company.
Of
They're like,
course,
if
of
it's
course. What do you
like this,
think?
why would I
Yeah.
patronize you? Now, someone gives a feedback.
Yeah.
Why not take it in?
exactly.
Because I've gone to places, and then when I get back home, I do this review post on my
Yes.
page. I point out the good and the bad side of it,
Yeah.
and you see the owners of this business is coming out to tell you, "Oh, thank you very much for pointing out those errors. We are going to improve." And then if
Exactly.
it's something that needs explanation, they
You
will also
explain,
explain.
exactly. That's
this
how
is
it's
the
done.
reason this thing happened, or this is the reason it is this way. So
Yeah.
some people find it difficult taking feedback. They
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
You're
it's my
attacking the
business.
business, yes.
Yes, you shouldn't tell me what
Yeah.
to do,
No,
how
no.
to run it.
How you handle feedback actually determines, how fast your business grows. I saw that report, and it told me that they have a very bad, public relations officer,
Yes.
right? Because what you would have done is right under that bad review, say, "Hey, ma'am, we're sorry you had a bad experience, right? We hope to improve. What can we
What
do
can we
to
do?"
serve you better?"
Simple.
That customer all of a sudden will be brightened.
Yeah.
If that customer was mad at your business, all of a sudden they'll change their mind and probably they'll start giving you clues, right?
Yes.
You take those clues and you implement them. That's how your business grows. This is how it's done overseas, right? But let me quickly run down. And so you have customer retention.
Yes.
When you have good customer service, you
Yeah,
retain your
you retain your
customers and you
customers and
even
also get
grow your
referrals
customer
as well.
base. That's
Yes.
right. Reduce negative publicity. You obliterate negative publicity when your customer service unit does a good job, right? Now, employee morale. When you get good compliments from customers, it motivates your staff to do better, right? It motivates them to put a smile on their face even if they're having a bad day. Like somebody walks in and you treat them well and they'll be like, "Oh, I like your hair. Your glasses
Yes.
are great."
Yes.
And even if you were having a bad day, that compliment cheers you up. And that's because you gave something and you received something good in return, right?
Yes.
Adaptability. A customer-focused approach allows the business to adapt to changing customer needs and preferences.
Okay, I want to
Right?
ask something. Does
Yeah.
good customer service delivery, does it affect the working environment? Because some workplaces or some offices,
Are toxic.
you enter there,
Yeah.
people are they're yelling, they're exchanging words, they're
yeah.
screaming. And then you enter some environments, you as a staff of that particular office, you might come to work not in your best mood, but
Yeah.
just the fact that you've entered that working space, you see your state of mind having a total
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
change from,
Well,
from sad to
there
happy.
are organizations that have a culture of toxicity, right? Yeah, and a lot of times it's because it starts from the leadership, right? There's a particular bank very close to this place. They have different branches, right? I won't call the name of the bank, of course, because I don't want to go through. I don't want to be sued. But anyway, I've noticed that every time I go to this particular branch, there is a high level of toxicity. The staff are disrespectful.
The strong faces.
The staff are never happy. The staff are never kind to customers, right? And I'm like, something is wrong. And so it must be from the leadership of this particular branch.
From top
Because
to
if you go
bottom.
to other branches, they may not be perfect, but they're not this toxic. So a lot of times, toxicity in the workplace starts from the leadership, the kind of culture you implement in the workplace. You come to work every day and you start from the minute you get out of your car and open the door, you're shouting, "Why is this here? Why have you not done this? Why have you not done that?" Right? And then you spoil everybody's day.
Yes.
And so what that means is that the next couple of hours at work, they are all angry.
And then they now start giving out bad energy to the customers.
You just gave them bad energy.
Yeah.
They took it, consumed it, and they're now giving it back
Yeah,
to the
transferring to
customers.
customers.
Right? So the best thing to do is make your staff happy. But then I want to run through the bad effects.
The bad effects,
Yeah,
yes.
loss of
Let's
customers.
quickly
You lose
talk about
customers
it.
when you have bad customer service. Negative word of mouth, increased competition, legal issues. People will sue you. People will take you to FPPC. How did you call the organization yesterday?
FCCPC.
Yes, FCCPC.
Yes.
They'll report you to FCCPC for bad services, bad products, and all of that. Diminished trust. People can't trust you. Imagine if you went into a restaurant to eat and the waiter talks to you badly. Do you think you're going to have confidence to eat food coming from that kitchen? I've had that experience where I walked into a restaurant, or went to, a grocery, how'd you call them, bakeries to buy stuff, and the customer are toxic, right? And you see they're not happy. I wouldn't even have confidence to eat meat pie or bread or whatever from that place, I'll say, okay, don't worry, I'll come back another time, and I'll walk away. So, and the business keeps losing, customers and in turn money. Diminished trust, high customer acquisition cost, because what that means is that you keep sacking, you keep losing staff, right?
Yes.
People complain about this staff. You sack the staff that you may have trained, you may have spent money training, right? And then you sack them and get another employee and then start training them all over. So it takes a toll and raises the business overhead. Negative online reviews, you get a lot of those when you have bad customer service. Employee disengagement, you sack a lot of your staff. Limited growth, you don't grow. Your business wouldn't grow as it should because of bad customer service. Brand erosion, the image of your brand gets eroded eventually. So customer service is one of the most important elements for every business, because when a customer walks in through your doors, the first person they will see is a staff. And now a good staff will usually do something like, good afternoon, sir, how may we help you today? How may I help you today?
So
what are you looking
wouldn't
for?
even greet you. They'll just be staring at you.
Yeah,
So you'll be the one to
and if you're like somebody,
am I in the right
if you're
place?
somebody like me, I'll walk in and go start looking for, if it's a shop, I'll go start looking for what I'm looking for. When you walk up to me later and say, Kefi Nacha, I'll say, don't worry, just don't worry.
Okay,
I'll do my thing
I have a
and
question
walk
to
away.
ask before we wrap up this segment.
Yeah.
What about the customers? Yeah, we've talked about business owners enough. Do you think they have a role to play when it comes to bringing out the worst side of this service providers?
Even though that's not part of the topic today, maybe
Yes.
we'll talk about that another day. But I did I did allude to that, in the beginning when I said that the customer has his place. And the staff have their place. You as a customer should respect, and we talked about it yesterday as well. You should respect the people. You show them respect. You don't go to a man's house and disrespect the man, right? You walk into a business, you should have self-respect. You should have self-respect first of all for yourself and for the person that you're walked into their business, right? Show them some kind of respect. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm looking for so and so and so. You don't walk into a shop because you feel you belong to a higher societal class than this staff there, and then you talk down at them. You don't even say hello or good afternoon. You walk in and you're like, "G has so and so and so." That person would feel bad. You didn't even recognize me as a human being, right? Treat people nicely. You walk into a business, you say good afternoon, ma'am, good afternoon, sir. It wouldn't kill you to even call somebody that is lower than you in in societal class, to call them ma'am or sir. I'm looking for so and so. Can you help me out? Right? So the way you treat them a lot of times would determine the kind of energy you get back in return. Now, the best staff could be triggered by the worst customer. If you understand what I mean.
Yes.
The best staff can actually be triggered by the worst customer, because every time the customer, they carry toxicity on their head, and immediately they walk in, they're giving it to you. Some people are just naturally arrogant.
Yes.
They want to let you know that I'm an agabro. Yes, you sell the perfume, but I use it. And so you should listen to me when I talk.
to you anyhow. I talk to you.
So that's crazy.
With it.
But where I blame the customers is the business owners, is that they're not investing enough in customer trainings.
Yes.
Trainings for their staff. Staff trainings, customer relations trainings,
yes.
Sales and marketing
don't even
trainings.
see the essence of having a HR in their office.
Exactly. So you find out that the staff are just beating about the bush and making a lot of mistakes, right? You should train your staff. The minute you employ them, the first step should be to train them. Give them a productivity training, give them a customer relations training, give them a sales and marketing training, right? If they're in sales and marketing, because part of sales and marketing is to know how to address the customer, how to speak to the customer, to choose the right words that you use when conversing with the customer. And so these are actually very important for business growth and productivity. But businesses in Nigeria don't take this seriously. The other thing that I see overseas that I haven't seen in Nigeria, they don't take it seriously, is that overseas, every establishment you walk into has a box and a pen and a pad of paper.
Okay.
And on that box is clearly written, complaint box. Yes. Please, if we haven't served you right, let us know. So you walk into that establishment and somebody does something wrong. You take that piece of paper and a pen, you complain right there and put it in the box.
Even some companies that have it in Nigeria, I doubt if they ever go back to that box and read what's in it.
They have boxes, but they don't have paper and pen.
Okay, I know some that actually have all, but they have issues with opening the box,
yeah.
and then reading what people wrote.
Yeah, so,
Yes,
so
it's also
so
another problem.
those establishments would have a lot of issues. But companies overseas that take those seriously always get feedback, from the customer and act accordingly. And the staff, knowing that this management will take the complaint seriously, will not act stupidly.
I think it gives customers a sense of belonging.
That's right.
When they say something and you work towards it. Okay, this is where we are going to be pausing on the discussion segment of Urban Marketplace, your number one destination when it comes to business and services on radio. Today we talked about the positive and negative effect of bad customer service to business growth and development. And if you followed this conversation from the beginning up until this very moment, you would believe me when I say that we've given you enough vital information enough tips on how to grow your business and make sure you don't lose your customers to your competitors out there.